Yeah, today we will see about for loop. In last discussion, we have already covered while loop. We can work on it. So, on the similar lines, we will start covering on for loop. Okay. So, always there is a way to convert while loop into for loop and as well as for loop into while loop. Okay. So, what is for loop? For loop has three like three instances this is a format of for loop how you'll be writing for within braces initial value. If you want to have initial value, you can write here, and then the condition, and then the change of values. But with respect to while, only you'll be having an expression or a condition inside while. So you'll not have an initial value, or you will not have a other values. So here if you want to take a for loop example, so using for loop, so how you have done infinite loop using while, using for loop also you can have an infinite loop. This is how the infinite loop look like. So here condition you have not, initial value you have not added anything, and condition you have not added anything, change of value you have not added anything. This is a way to write an infinite loop using for. And always you can make sure uh, you can skip initial value, but you should give the semicolon. Okay, you can't skip that. So that is how the format is. And you can always add a condition, and you can have an increment value here if you want increment or decrement. Okay, so let us consider a for loop which will replace while loop. Okay, now you can see here initial value already it is given here int a, and what you can do is you can always make for a equal to 0. Okay, a is less than 100, and what you are doing here, after everything you are adding plus plus here. After once the execution is done, now you are adding there. Instead of that, you can add that change value here, and what you are doing here, you are printing the value here. So this is a equivalent loop, for loop. Okay, equivalent loop of while. So it is up to you which one you want to use. So generally what will happen is, whenever you don't have any initial values, and no need to put like increments, only condition is there, you can write using while. Okay, only when your condition, you are checking condition, you can use this. Otherwise you can use for loop to perform the operation. Here just you are declaring, here you are initializing, don't initialize this. So now we will see how this will work. See, so the same code is working using for loop 0 to 100. So it is giving you the values of odd number in between 0 to 100. But you can also make condition like while. Okay, see here. So here what you have done initially, you have done equal to, you have initialized value to 0, and what you are doing, you are incrementing here. So this is also fine. Okay, but you should make sure that you have add a semicolon, and then the condition, then the semicolon. This will work. As well as see here, this is also working. So it is up to you how you want to write a loop. So while and for loop can be interchangeable. So that is what you need to remember. So whenever the initial value should be added, whenever you have a conditions, and whenever you have a some condition where you are constantly changing some values, there you can use for loop. Maybe like when you are performing array operations and all, best ways to use for loop instead of while loop. While loop you can use when you don't need to have initial values or some values you need to predefine, and then you don't have a condition, no incrementation within the loop. You can use this. So it is up to you how you will be using. So that is the reason I have taken the same example and I have converted that to for loop. And this is a third version. Okay, you can always make look like a while. This is while, this is for. Same, only here for we are using two semicolons and the rest of the code is same. But if you want to add initial value and then change of value, so you can change code like this, where you are, if you initialize to 0 it is okay, or here every time you are initializing. This is how it will work. Okay, hope you have understood about how for loop works and how iteration is done. So here what it does is it will have an initial value, then the condition, then it will check all the conditions here and then it will increment. Once all the statements are done, then the incrementation operation will be done at the last. So that is how it will work. And see here, while loop. So you can always see how you have written while and how you have written for. Both are same. So it is up to you which one you want to use. Okay. So what we can do is we will cover quickly on do while also. Okay. So do while, okay, we have covered for loop and while loop. So only the difference between while and do while is irrespective of condition, okay, it will check once. If you see, the do while will look like this: do first and then check the condition, while condition. So for example, you want factorial of 0 as 0 or 1 as always 1. So initially you can at least have one condition where you can perform this operation, okay, and then you can change condition while you can perform. Okay, so if you do a do while, it is like at least one time it will execute and then it will check the condition. So you can print, okay, you can printf first time. So you can see how this is working. See, unexpected, what is that? Okay, here it is, we have missed it. So check what it is doing first time. Okay, so what it is doing, here it is printing first time and then it is not printing because already in for loop we have already given all the things. Okay, this is how it will work. So we are not having any condition here. Already we are crossing here. A is less than 100. A is 100. Okay. After executing all this, it will make A as 100. and then while we are checking a is equal to 100, if you want to verify it again, you can print here a value is equal to percentage d slash n, and then you can print the value of a. Now you can easily see what is the a value at finally. A value is 100, and what do while condition does? First it is checking do. First it is printing, then it is checking whether a is less than 100. No. Then it will print. So you can just change here. A is equal to or less than 100. Then it will take that, and okay. So here already a is 100 now. So here we will take, and then what we'll do is here we will make a minus minus so that it will do one more time. See what it is doing. So here a is 100, and then what it is doing, it is checking a minus minus it is doing, and what it will do is every time it will do minus minus, and maybe a is less than or equal to 100. Yes, a is less than or equal to 100. It is going to infinite loop because this condition will never true, because it is first printing and then it is making minus minus. It is for printing and it is making minus minus. That is why always it will be a is equal to 100, and it will be in infinite loop. So better when you are writing code, you should make sure you are writing correct things. Otherwise, why this is executing infinite loop? Because first you are doing it and a is 99, and then it is checking a is less than or equal to 100. It is 99. Definitely it will be there. Then again it is going and it is checking. It is doing minus minus, and again it is checking. So it will be always true. That is why it is printing. Because this condition is getting always true and it is printing. Maybe we can check. Oh, so because it will be always minus minus, if you go till the value, then it will be, so it is taking negative values also. Once it will come minus minus, and it is keep on going in a loop. That is how it is coming infinite loop. So I think you got clarification on for loop, do while loop, and while. So while and do while, only there is a difference is irrespective of the condition, one time do will get executed. But here first it will check the condition and it will execute. But here it will first execute and next every time it will check the condition. This is how it works. Okay. So now see, it is only checking only one time. So you can always see how it will work. So A is 100 and then it is checking A is less than 100. No, but here first it is printing and then it is checking. That is why it is not printing. So when we are giving minus minus, it is going into infinite loop. Okay. Thank you.